Welcome students. Today's lecture we will be discussing about the rolling process, which is yet another type of metal forming process. This process also utilizes the compression force to make sheet metal. The main application of rolling process is to make sheet metals. So any material which has a thickness less than 12 mm, that can be categorized as sheet metal. If the thickness of the material is above 12 mm, it is called as plate. If it is less than 12 mm, it's called as sheet metal. So plates, sheet metals, etc. Any flat surface can be manufactured using this rolling process. Sheets of can be manufactured using rolling process. So the application of rolling process can be so sheets where they are using is one example is roofs. Your roofs are made of sheet metal. Automobile bodies, airplane bodies. In your desk, so even your window frames, those are made of sheet metal. So sheet metal plays a vital role in manufacturing process. That is particularly made using this rolling process. So as the name indicates, rolling process involves the utilization of rollers. As you can see in this image, it utilizes rollers to make the sheets. In forging, we are using hammers, but in rolling, we are using roll stands. So these roll stands are made up of hard materials, similar to your hammer. So the same material can be used for making rollers also. So the requirement of these rollers is to have high hardness and high strength so that it does not deform itself during the rolling process. So high carbon steel, alloys of titanium. So these are predominantly used in manufacturing of these rollers. So rolling operation involves the plastic deformation. Any metal forming process involves plastic deformation. So plastic deformation is the process where the material deforms in such a way that it cannot return back to its original shape. So if you see this image closely, the larger grains are deformed into smaller, elongated grains. So this is actually a cold working process because at the end, new grains are not formed. Hence, you can consider this as a cold working process. One thing I forgot to mention in the previous lecture itself is that if you take rolling, forging, extrusion, wire drawing, if it is done above the recrystallization temperature, if the metal is heated and it is subjected to these four processes, it can be called as hot forging, hot rolling, etc. If it is done below recrystallization temperature, it can be classified as cold forging, cold rolling, etc. So based on your need, if you need high ductility, high strength, you can go for hot working. If you need better surface finish and high hardness, then you can go for cold working process. If you need combination of both, then you can first do hot working, and then you can move on to hot working process. So rolling involves reducing the size of the thickness of the material step by step. For example, if you take a bar or a billet, it has to be made into a sheet. So what you have to do is you have to reduce the thickness and increase the thickness width. You have to increase the width and reduce the thickness. That's the main aim of this rolling process. Increase the length and width and decrease the thickness. So that can be done by rolling. So rolling involves different types of roll style arrangements. As you can see here, 2 high rolling mills, 3 high rolling mills, 4 high rolling mills, and planetary cluster. Like that, different rolling stand arrangements are available. So one thing you can note here is that with the increase in number of rollers, the output thickness is reduced. If you see in the 2 high rolling mill, thickness is somewhat bigger. If you go for 3 high rolling mill, thickness is reduced. Similarly, as the number of roller increases, as you can see in the tandem mill, the metal piece, sheet metal which is coming out is considerably less in thickness. So depending upon the thickness, output thickness, you can use the rolling stand arrangements. Similarly, these are flat rolling mills. You can also use shape rolling mills if you need to impart specific shape on the material. For example, if you see here, die mills are used. Here, the output will be in the form of bent shapes. As you can see here, this will be in the shape of parts like this. As I said, your roof will have some protrusions and extrusions. Those type of sheets can be produced using this shape rolling mills. So that's regarding this rolling process. It's fairly simple process. And also it can be classified into hot rolling and cold rolling depending upon the temperature. So hope you understood this lecture video. Thank you, students.